thank you so much. I really hope this water extraction what it is worth these harrowing experiences. All part of the fun, some might say, but I'd rather not be burnt to a crisp if it's all the same to you.
Thank you for those extra moves. Yes. You got a blocked nose.
Got a bloody nose.
I see. It's very...
At least I don't have a hole in it.
Nah, it would be bad.
It's happened before. Pretty sure I've told the story about the time I had a hole in my septum.
Probably.
Probably, and I probably don't wish to hear it again.
Hey, Oriange, yeah, talk to Oriange, shall we? Hi, Oriange.
Hello, Orange.
My friends, I bid you welcome to Logisticon Alpha. Our destination doth lie at the lift's top. Pray follow me.
Because we're just giving the Loprets a tour right now is what's going on. There's awesome heroic music while we're just telling Loprets how water works. Oh.
Now, see, Lockbridge, there's this special kind of water that has unique properties. See, try some.
You can only get this water from crystals near a certain desert oasis town. Ah, yeah, Singing Way, the one I refused to do the voice of.
Marvelous. Simply marvelous. So, is this where the magic, or science rather, takes place? Perfect environment to sustain life, artificially created.
And she sounds like this one person who torments our lives in Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. Like, yeah, this is the place where this is an artificially created environment, just like how the Great Cataclysm was faithfully recreated. Anyway, the knowledge we'll gain here will be essential when we start looking for new stars for your kind to inhabit. Apparently, most of them don't even have air for you to breathe. You're all very lucky that Atheris just so happens to provide everything you need to thrive. Or did mankind turn out the way they are because of the available resources, I wonder?
The green zone.
Nah.
I think you'd know about that since you're piloting a spaceship.
Either way, it's nothing short of miraculous, and I cannot wait to see more of it.
So do they not need a room?
I imagine they do. The fact that they're making the spaceship to take us elsewhere and they don't know what the green zone is concerning.
Alright, that's right, I haven't sorted my glamours yet, and I'm not in a space to do that just now. Those are shorts. I got booty shorts. I'm wearing booty shorts.
He's not
Well, I'm sure
complaining.
Nee would love the view.
Are we doing this Tuesday as well, given the lack of D6 this week?
We'll see. Alright, cooking away.
This is all very wonderful, I'm sure, but I was rather hoping to learn more about your nourishment provision facilities. In other words, where is the food?
This is not the place to look for food.
This next string of quests, while utterly irrelevant, is actually very funny, so just bear with it.
I believe both the knowledge and consumables you seek may be found at Merial Agronomics.
They're gonna find the bread.
As I imagine Singing Way and the others intend to study every conceivable facet of this apparatus, wouldst thou be so kind as to escort our visiting culinarian? Yes, that sounds much more interesting. Hopefully I'll be able to see firsthand some of the delicacies Oriange was telling me about.
No.
Even his incredibly vivid, if a bit too verbose, descriptions cannot compare to sampling them myself. Not to mention that Theris will soon be no more, so I must learn all I can while there is still time.
Oh god, this isn't... Oh no.
Let us brook no further delay.
Can we go upstairs?
Archon-
There's burgers and restaurants and... Oh.
Hey,
A burger at a restaurant.
He's gonna find the bread and think that's normal and we're doomed.
Archon bread carrots.
I mean, to be
I'm leaving, goodbye, the world is fucked, screw it.
Archon loaf tastes not all that great. Like everyone knows that, but none can deny its health benefits. It's kind of like a super ration.
You feed
spread
that
the
to the entire populace, and that's the only thing that they've made on that bloody lifeboat of a moon, and it'll be like a vol experiment. Soon people will go fucking next crazy. Like, that kind of stuff would be what Voltec does in one of their experiments. Fall out.
Oh, Vault Tech. You were saying it in such a way that I thought you were saying Voltec, and I'm like, what the fuck is Voltec?
I'm British, accept my accent. I thought you knew this after, what, 6-7 years?
Yes, I know. But this, on rare occasions,
7
sometimes you say
years.
things a bit too quick. 7 years? It's been that long?
2015, I think it was.
Jesus. All right, Cooking Way.
This is the place, yes? The heady aroma was enough to guide me here, and I've spotted several of the fruit and vegetables featured in our compendium. I dearly love to try some, but I read that those who help themselves to a farmer's crops without permission are often caught and put into pies. Perhaps you could ask whoever's in charge if they'd be willing to part with a few samples?
Come along,
No.
Rabbit Man.
Can we just look? You know, rabbit pie does sound very good.
I mean, but yeah, think of it this way. When I did change and all that, I was in school.
Yeah, you were still in college when I met you, yeah.
Yep.
What a fine mess this is. Ah, it's you. You want to climb down the mine shaft? I'd show you around if I could, but I'm rushed off my feet preparing for the Exodus. I'm not the only one. We've all got to find ways to do what we can to do what we do down here up there. We've all got to find ways to do what we do down here up there. First on the moon, then on whichever star the Forum decides will become our new home. It's all so sudden, so unreal. Don't you want to go to the moon? Well, it's waiting for the final days to claim us. But no matter how carefully it's all planned, we'll never be able to take every variety of flora and fauna with us. Even the ones we can take may not survive in their new environment. So many species doomed to extinction. I'm sorry, that's not what you came to talk about, is it? Nothing quite so dire, I assure you. We merely wish to sample a little of your produce, if we may. By all means, help yourselves. Much appreciated, my good fellow. So where to begin?
If we see anything that looks like it may be mostly carbohydrates, dried fish, and whatever the fuck else in that thing, stay clear.
Right. Well, first, the grapes that once upon a time were blocky.
Oh, I know what these are. Grapes, yes? Let's see if they're as delicious as they look.
You are talking to the guy, right?
Sorry, I just had to pay
Yeah.
respects first.
Let's see if they're as delicious as they look.
And Cooking Way is going to take a nibble.
So sweet, so sour. The taste is much like a ripe philosopher's carrot. And yet the texture is entirely different. The contrast between the outer skin and the fruit within is most peculiar, though far from unpleasant. Yes, I think I'll try another.
I'm also quite partial to
Another
grapes. White grapes, specifically. Green ones. Whatever.
Well, that's certainly given me food for thought, though in a far less visceral manner than any philosopher's carrot. But tell me, what is your opinion of grapes?
I brave an erupting volcano for a choice
Volcano
ref-
for a
yes,
choice fun.
we have. I would. We have done it. This has happened.
In a previous
Ghastly
life, but yeah.
things, I'd rather eat rancid giant.
It's canonical that we literally braved an erupting volcano to save some grapes. It's happened.
Did it.
That's the volcano Hythlodaeus was talking about.
MSL was not happy with us for that.
And it's not happy with anything we do.
True.
Anyway,
Especially that.
Yes, they are rather Moorish, aren't they? And from what I've read, quite versatile too. Something about people stepping on them to make intoxicating beverages, as I recall. Anyway, that's enough about grapes for the time being. On to the next treat.
Yes, without grapes, Thanatos, you wouldn't have some of your booze. Or wine, anyway.
Quite.
Alright.
Anyway, oranges. Orianje's favorite. They remind
I
him of
think these are
himself.
are these oranges or are these lemons?
Orange.
Oh, no, these are oranges.
Orange by name, orange by nature.
We just hear, how does thee fare? From one of these things.
What came first? The fruit or the color? Who cares? Let's eat! Itadakimasu!
Ah!
Yes, that's... Equal parts
sweet and sour as the grapes, yet nothing alike. May have to consult Oriange about expanding my vocabulary. I simply can't find the words to describe it. Perhaps what I'm looking for is bitter. This is all very complicated, you know. So many flavors, so many choices, each individual with their own personal preferences. Now I see why you all turned your noses up at the idea of eating nothing but carrots. Marvelous though they still are in my estimation. Let no one say I said otherwise. But speaking of carrots, I've yet to sample any of the vegetables. Let's see what's in that field over there.
I still hate carrots. Cannot eat them.
You don't like carrots?
I legitimately do not like carrots. They tend to activate my gag reflex.
Huh, weird. A lot of vegetables do that with me, but I like carrots. I can eat carrots all day.
Green beans.
cannot stand
That's
carrots.
what does it for me. Ugh.
Jesus, you guys like the two things when it comes to fruits and vegetables I really, really like are the things you guys can't stand.
I like broccoli, I like cabbage.
I don't like cabbage, I don't like sprouts, I like broccoli. I can do broccoli all day. I like peas and I like green beans.
You come anywhere near me with cabbage, Tom, and I will yuck it across.
I hate Brussels sprouts.
What's wrong with cabbage? And also, I was the weird kid who actually likes sprouts.
The smell. You ever been in a house
Cabbage.
where
Cabbage
you
doesn't
just
really
cooking
smell.
cabbage?
I like
It's-
cauliflower if it's well made.
I mean, yeah, but I wouldn't think to find it as a particularly strong aroma. It's just kind of there.
Anyways, cooking way.
Yes.
These are pumpkins. Anyways,
That color, that texture. Are they some sort of enormous round carrots?
Never even tasted
No.
it. The only thing I've ever done with pumpkin is make faces with it.
pumpkin pie is really good.
Yeah,
No?
that's only really a thing in America. We don't do that here.
It's really good.
In any case, proper nomenclature is less of a concern than the taste.
Chomp! Just bites on a pumpkin still on the ground, which is a terrible idea.
Blah! Ugh! It's so hard and flavorless. I may as well be chewing on a piece of wood. Oh, that all but confirms it. These are nothing more than misbegotten failures masquerading as goodly carrots.
Okay, is that a woman? Yep, that is a woman.
Deloitte.
Deloise.
Stop! Can't you see these are pumpkins? And no one with any sense would try eating them raw. You're supposed to cook them first. Do you not find it an awful bother? Far from it. Cooking is a joy unto itself. And what's more, it broadens the range of ingredients that we may safely eat. But above all else, cooking allows us to draw out the full potential of our produce. Pumpkin stew has been one of my favorite dishes for as long as I can
Why don't you
remember.
give unique dialogue in this quest if you're a culinarian yourself?
Maybe, I don't know.
Then perhaps even these hard blocks of plant matter can become as delicious as the orange I sampled. I wonder though, if there is anything even more delicious.
Well,
How about that yellow fruit over yonder?
lemons.
Lemons.
Try my lemons. You want
I
my
want my
lemons?
I want my lemons.
It's a good drink.
Yeah, like it makes a good drink. It can make for good seasoning. You don't want to eat it raw, though.
Someone get the camera. This is like a baby taking them first time.
What a wondrous fragrance. With luck, it'll have a flavor to match. As I have no idea how these are eaten, I just bite into it. My tongue! Is this poison? a lemon? You mean it's supposed to taste like this? Ah! How can something so similar to an orange be so revolting? Ah! Maybe sometime before my palate recovers from this. As such, I'd best call an end to this round of sampling. Let's say our friends and let's say our farewells and return to the others.
Some people like the taste of lemons. Most people just like the lemonade.
I like lemonade.
Lemonade.
I don't mind
sweet,
lemonade.
Sweet lemonade.
I like lemon-flavored cough drops. Finished, have you? I trust you found something to your liking.
Rather enamored with the grapes and the oranges. Also the pumpkin, though I learned the hard way they're not to be eaten raw. Then there was the lemon. The deceiver. still feel so violated.
First time, was it? I'd hate for you to leave with a bad taste in your mouth, in more ways than one. So I'll give you this lemon muffin I baked. If this doesn't change your opinion, nothing will.
More lemon? Have I not suffered enough? Nevertheless, it would be remiss of me to spend this opportunity to... well, sick came up there. Learn more of your inscrutable ways.
Teaching cooking way, the art of cooking.
Very well, Lemon Muffin. Do your worst.
Make him stay true to his actual name.
This is delicious! Although I still detect the hint of lemon, it complements the sweetness of the dough to create perfect harmony. I never would have guessed its vile bitterness could be utilized so elegantly. My good chap, this is simply breathtaking!
I can't eat tomatoes on their own, cooked raw or otherwise, but I can eat it in a sauce on a pizza.
See? We rarely use lemon in its natural state, but it has a starring role in all sorts of recipes. And the same is true for many other ingredients. It comes down to making the most of the resources at our disposal. And sometimes that can even be the difference between life and death. I know we won't be able to take every species with us. No doubt the Forum agonized over what was worth preserving and what will be consigned to history. Hard choices. But make them we must if we are to survive.
Such strength of will. Now I know what Hydaelyn sees in your kind. Mankind, the Loprits, we were both born from the accumulated knowledge of the ancients. They learned all there is to learn about the nature of sentient life and the fates of the stars themselves. Once a civilization has fulfilled the basic requirements for survival, it will inevitably seek to eliminate all forms of negativity and achieve perfection. And therein lies its folly, and its downfall. For perfection is unattainable. 'Tis the paradox of the immaculate carrot. Yet civilizations since time immemorial have deemed the pursuit of perfection as progress. They pay no heed to the costs incurred in their futile quest, and all too often become the architects of their own demise, and dreams forever unfulfilled.
A rabbit is giving us this talk.
What then is the alternative? The answer lies in knowing that our existence can never be perfect. To be content with what we have and make the most of it.
You always need a little bit of chaos and darkness. Otherwise, you have what happened on the first, complete stagnation and death.
Yeah.
When life gives you lemons, make lemon muffins.
Or grenades.
That... yeah. Pardon my Eorzean, but what in the seven hells are you on about? And who are you, anyway?
Cooking away, at your service. I'm here now prepare for the trip to the moon. And once you get there, you'll be able to try my carrots. I've been growing all different kinds. But don't worry, there'll be room for your crops too. We'll work together to preserve as many of Atheris' species as possible. If you're up to the challenge.
Apples. They're the apples.
Yes, of course. I look forward to it. Especially the Granny Smiths. I need those.
I like apples, I like cider. I want cider. Give me cider.
And what about pears?
Pears can die.
No.
Oh, God. There's some strong opinions flying around here. Jesus.
I'm
Well,
one line
it's
with
all
the
been-
doctor on that one. Pears. Don't eat pears. Pears are the worst.
Well, this has all been highly productive. Probably. Let's go and see if Oriandra and the others have run out of machinery to inspect, shall we?
Sure.
Don't,
Take life. Take the lemons back.
Well, don't worry, Cooking Way. We're gonna save the world, and I'll teach you how to make a chili con carne. Nachos, pasta bake, all kinds.
I'm gonna make caramelized bananas later.
Having a comfortable trip there, Nick?
This happens to be the most dignified way to travel known to Aeoldia.
Just plucked and carried around like a cat. Scruffed.
It's probably more comfortable if I was a Mikate and had that like little neck spot.
Pretty sure the Mikate don't have that next spot.
How do you know?
Well, they don't in Eno.
Find a Mikate child and try to pick them up by the neck. And try not to be attacked by the town guard in the process.
What about
Well, here's the thing.
Mikate?
Nee has Mika.
Problem is, kittens outgrow it.
No, if I scruff Maya, she'll go limp for a little bit, and then she'll get annoyed with me. Like, the reflex is still there. They just get better at breaking out of it.
I'm a pitch. You're at that. I'm sorry.
Gotta get over here. Get back here! Come on, I can't voice until everyone's present.
That was most enlightening, especially the part with the lemon muffin. Actually, I was wondering, do you know of any other places famed for their cuisine?
Culinary skill.
You wanna go with that one?
Yeah, I say the Culinary skill because they take people from all, grades when it comes to cooking. That deals with thing.
Alright.
Would that I had time to visit. The more I learn of Atheris, the more I wish we could spare it from the final days.
We will!
Alas, Hydaelyn's orders are to flee, not to resist. I knew there was some other way.
It was a backup
So wait.
plan. You're the backup plan.
But he says Hydaelyn's said flee, not fight.
I mean, I ordered them to do it, but we have a
Now
different job. We're the warrior of light, not a bunny.
I trust that thy time at Muriel Agronomics did bear fruit.
Oriange, leave.
Our own efforts, too, were rewarded. We now possess an embarrassment of educational riches. No doubt our guests' relentless pursuit of knowledge could occupy them, and us, for a fortnight. Alas, time is of the essence. Let us return to Charlie and Hamlet forthwith. I shall gladly attend to each and every Lopreth there, should further questions within my power to answer arise.
Alright, back to the Hamlet.
Mika used to have
I'm not a Pokemon.
It is super effective.
So, here's a question. If Mikate did have that spot, would half Mikate's have it?
Are you talking about Rosa
Cassandra,
specifically?
pick up Rosa.
Try it, find out. I don't quite know how she'd react yet, because she's not me, she's much more
Here's another question.
less
Like,
confident.
how tall will she be? Like, she's part elf. Will she be as tall as Cassandra, or just slightly shorter?
Like most things, well, I think Rosa will be more on the shorter side. That's kind of how I imagined her anyway. Like, she has elf ears that have, like, cat fur on them. Her tail's, like, half the size of a Mikate tail.
Cutscene.
She'll be more cat and elf.
She'll probably hiss at you if you piss her off.
Alright, we in cutscene?
Yes, it is not moist.
Yep, it's good.
Forget growing way too.
Yes, that was indeed me verbalizing a sigh to express my emotional state. You want to know why? Because I saw the reconstructed environmental data for Atheris at Logistic and Alpha, that's why. A forest so lovely and so leafy. Are all of your forests like that?
Yes, very. You're an abomination. Stop it.
You should see the forest of the first. One was purple.
Purple. What do we say?
So the Black Shroud,
I mean, we
the
start-
Trees in Dravania, or the first?
2 of us started in the Black Shroud.
Yeah, so makes sense.
I did not. I started in the...
You start in the desert, you don't get an opinion.
God. I'm going with the top one.
I'm speaking as me, just so that's clear. I don't know if you noticed in the campaign, she hates the desert.
Yeah, we've noticed.
Gasp! Gasp, I say! With the star so wonderful, it comes as no surprise that you're reluctant to leave her behind. I was a fool to think otherwise, to assume that the moon was something worth being proud of. Oh, how ridiculous we must seem to you, trying so hard yet achieving so little.
Not at all. Thy works are no less worthy for their uniqueness.
I have no idea who's talking here. I thought I heard tiny voices. Oh, Alpha now. Or not Alpha. Fucking Thancred!
Thancred.
Hi, Alphino. How's it going, Alphino?
How didst thou fare? Oh, I was able to glean a fair bit from the researchers while helping to move their cargo. Preparations have proceeded without interruption here, despite news of the coming end. We have the forum's leadership to thank for that. That doesn't mean people aren't worried, though. Quite the opposite. Knowing disaster could strike at any moment, they hurry to complete their work, equally aware that a single error could be the difference between life and death. And we can hardly tell them there's no cause for concern.
What it takes is one person to get mildly pissed off.
Perhaps not. Though, aided by our goodly growing way, we may yet find other ways to lighten their burden.
Me? Be of use to people? I'm honored that you would think me so capable, but I'm not sure I'm up to the challenge.
Nevertheless, I believe in thee.
If you say so, I suppose it can't hurt to try.
I passed someone moping in the Western Plaza that looked to be in need of a helping paw. Perhaps you might start with them. 'Tis as good a place as any. Come.
Moping is literally illegal right now because it causes death.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just passing the time and helping out while we're waiting for the adamantite and other shit to come in, because that's gonna take a while.
Is this our, crew's future waiting for the forces to gather when we get those weapons back?
I think there's something to that effect.
Waiting for shit to happen.
Alright, troubled researcher with green fucking hair.
It's either died or anime logic. Probably anime logic.
Let's be real. Final Fantasy XIV is a shonen anime.
I just wish they'd actually make a shonen anime from it because it'd be perfect.
It would be, yes.
Although having a protagonist that wouldn't talk.
What we're getting is a live action series focused on Sid at some point. Anyways,
Oh, can I help you? Yeah, it is you who would help me. Is my anxiety truly so obvious? A burden shared is a burden eased. Pray, tell us of thy troubles. Those little fellows do look like good listeners. They've got the ears for it. I'm an engineer, you see. And what they say of the ship, that it's the sum of decades of Charlian ingenuity, that it's built with peerless, elegant technology, is all true, but I know that none of that's a guarantee. We've never before launched a starfaring vessel, let alone flown it in the great expanse. All the tests we've run have been on the ground. Only operational personnel and cargo will be aboard for the first voyage. But even so, if it fails us then, what can we do? And if it doesn't, it could fall apart on the next flight, or the one after that. We've done everything we can to prevent that from happening, but it hardly matters. We thought the Etherburner's design was flawless too. And look how that turned out. Thou art familiar with these most daunting technologies, and thus dost thou hold the power to allay his fears.
Oh, I'm not sure about that, but, well,
Come on, growing way, be a Chad.
Do we have a spaceship way we could bring in?
Flying way. Shipping way.
That's something
No,
else entirely.
That's something else entirely. Never mind. I like how both of our minds went to the same place.
That's the one in the background there, watching me and Mika very carefully.
Him and three-way. Anyway.
No, that one's also looking at Thanatos, and we're very freaked out by that one.
maybe you could tell me if there are any aspects of the ship's design that you're particularly worried about?
Our ability to walk about and perform our tasks, for one. I've devised a means by which to employ gravity, a spatio-temporal spell, to regulate the environment, but what if it's not strong enough? What if everyone floats away and begins crashing into things as soon as we've left the star?
Aha, gravitation! Maybe I can be of help after all. Up there is not so different from down here, you see. The same rules apply, and if you consider them as part of one great big cosmos rather than separate places...
Doing nerdy things, can you translate?
I suspect both parties shall find comfort in this conversation. Yet if Thancred's tale be true, still others would benefit from insights born of experience. Might it prevail upon the Loprits to attend them?
An excellent idea, if I do say so myself. There is naught we'd like more than to ease the hearts of the fine people of Atheris and learn more about them while we're at it.
Full glad am I to hear it. Gather thy companions and bring them hither. Thou hast a gift for finding souls in need of succor. Pray seek out the distressed and the apprehensive, and inform them that help is at hand. I shall await them here, and I might introduce each to a suitable Loprit.
Yeah, remember that scavenger hunt I was talking about?
No.
Oh, I do so look forward to that. A place for every Loprit and every Loprit in their place.
So, 8 people here. Enjoy.
8 people. Scattered all over the fucking place. This is gonna take us a bit. I would personally recommend we scatter to find them more quickly, and if we
There's
find
one
one,
right
drop a
here.
waymark on their heads.
The problem is, if we're doing that, then we're separated from the dialogue.
Right.
We'll want to,
Fair
talk to
enough.
them when we find them.
Apologies, but I'm awaiting a delivery. Whatever it is, I'll have to wait.
Seems this Gleamner is too busy to chat, for his benefit or otherwise.
Yo!
Yo! Oh, found a despondent engineer up here.
You have wings, use them.
Just leave me to my misery before I can appoint someone else. I apologize. I simply don't know what to do. How am I supposed to pilot the Ark if I'm already falling apart under the pressure? You know a starship pilot that I might speak with? Truly? Well, then there's no time to waste. They can help me prepare for this monumental task.
So we... Thing is, they've never actually piloted one either. So,
But they did invent them. Ooh, a skeptical researcher.
Alright.
And a Miko at that.
It's a cow.
It's a cot.
Have you heard anything of what's on the moon? I have no doubt that we can make it up there, but the researching for a new star part of the plan sounds awfully vague to me. I asked the forum, but they will only tell us that our collaborators have everything under control. Forgive me, but I don't feel particularly safe wandering through the sea of stars on God's knows what, made by God's know who.
Rabbit.
Rabbit.
Plus Hydaelyn, for now. She's nice.
You mean to say that I can speak with them directly? Amazing! I hope they like questions.
Prepare to be either incredibly amazed or incredibly disappointed.
Yo.
There's not really a middle ground here. Hi.
Potentially both.
Calm researcher.
Well, this one will be fine then.
Let's see here.
Worries. No, I believe I'm fine, thank you. I've been confiding in my colleagues and it's helped a lot. Can't recommend it enough.
This Reacher already has the support they need. Alright.
Friendship. I only have two ticked off.
Same here.
Talk to 3 though.
Because we're seeking
Oh,
out trouble
yeah,
calls specifically.
not
So
just-
ones that aren't
Oh,
trouble.
bloody hell, that's even worse than a
Oh, Jed's a scavenger hunt!
I thought I just talked to 8 people. Oh.
How might I help you? My, what a lovely idea! I too noticed people were becoming rather tense, so I rushed out to pluck some fresh and fragrant tea leaves. Now I only need track down up 100 or so cups. But don't you worry, I can manage. I hope your plan to cheer everyone up goes well.
This woman is doing better than you are. I like that. If I recall, there's someone tucked away back here
After this
somewhere.
quest, I think we need someone to cheer us up.
Her, probably. She's making the good tea. Looks like not here is where they're tucked away, but somewhere.
Appealing to my British sensibilities.
We'll pour some honey in it for you.
And now, listen here, you little shit.
Hey, honey and tea is a good addition, man. Very good for the throat, don't
No,
know.
no. I got something better. Don't worry. We'll get you some iced tea.
Bye. I'm leaving.
is that really a bad thing to the British?
To me, it is. And I counted all the British, as we know.
Yeah, you are all of the British. You are the only British person
And
who
I.
exists.
Darkness.
What about Darkness? What about Darkness? Is he British?
He's
If you're the only British?
He's darkness. There is no other like him, as we know.
Alright, is this a woman? I don't have a good angle.
Yes, I think so.
I'm gonna say man.
I think it's a woman.
Nope, that is a lady.
Hey.
The face shape gives it away on an LSN.
56 bunches of weed in the ground. 56 bunches of weed. Rip one out, add to the mound. 55 bunches of weeds in the... I'm not neglecting my duties, I swear. I was in need of a little break, you see, but then I found myself unable to relax at all.
You're
so I
doing a
went on
police?
walk,
I'm calling the weed.
and then I noticed these weeds and... pleasant conversation partners, and oh so fuzzy! Goodness me, that does sound like a much better way to relax. Oh!
I like how they all go running off when it's time to meet the Lopper. It's just like their excitement. It consumes them. And they go sprinting.
The buns. It binds them. They are too many.
I think that engineer's probably all right. They're level-headed, but we can talk to them if we like. Hello, miss.
Concerns? Nay. There's no point in worrying at this stage. It'll only make the work go that much slower.
Seems to be coping well.
So many people will get 3 FA.
Anxious. This one should work.
Yep, and Gracious.
What am I thinking about? Well, the medical facilities on the ship, of course. I designed them with the assistance of our sages and chirurgeons, but to imagine every illness or injury that one might face in that great expanse is beyond any of us. To say nothing of the effects that living out there indefinitely might have on the body.
You kind of go spring. You need to exercise a lot.
The crew from the moon! Oh, why did I not think of that?
And it should be fine if they have artificial gravity, bouncing around.
Halfway there.
Precious.
She's kind of leaned over Emmett, like, so...
Alright.
The end of the world is nigh, yet the work goes on no faster. Schedules are such temperamental things, feasible one moment, utter bollocks the next. And yet, I have never felt so alive.
Oh, no.
Only sleep can save her.
This one is beyond your help. Only sleep can save her now.
She's had a lot of coffee, clearly.
I don't even know this word.
Irascible, I would assume.
What does that mean?
No clue. You!
Tom?
Yes, you idiot! Have you seen an envelope lying around? This imbecile refuses to give me the alchemic I ordered without that bloody slip of parchment! Unless your friends have a spell to make me remember where I dropped my damned envelope, I doubt there'll be more help than you. You've wasted enough of my time already. It would be unfortunate for all involved to inflict this man upon the Labyrinthos.
Right. Grimacing.
If 4
naturalness.
depressed people could just come out and make this easy, it'd be great.
My face? What's wrong with my... Ow, ow, perhaps I am a bit tense. I was tasked with ensuring that the proper fauna, and only the proper fauna, are brought with us to the moon. However, the suitability of a few species is still under debate. I can hardly make the decision myself when I know so little about the environment up there. Including the Labyrinthos in our discussions is a wonderful idea. I absolutely will, thank you. Perhaps their biology itself might offer some clue as well.
Yeah, the only clue that offers
Oh,
is
she's
that
gonna start
Hydaelyn-
prodding at them.
Hydaelyn has the sense of humor. There's your clue.
Ponderous mathematician.
Consult our collaborators? I suppose that would be more effective than sitting here brooding. I'm attempting to calculate how much cargo we can consolidate into fewer trips should the ether burner make our original estimates unfeasible. But there are simply too many variables. I feel as if my brow will turn inside out. Or perhaps our lunar associates will have more insight into how much weight constitutes too much weight for our purposes. Thank you for letting me know.
There's a tide gleaner over here. See what we can glean from them.
Is anything bothering me? Well, I've been loading cargo for bells now, so my back feels like a void sense played it as a piano. My feet and knees as drums and cymbals, too. He's in need of a break, but he's alright. Aye.
We must find Pibas.
Be somewhere. They must always be somewhere. We don't think we got this banger music to keep us company while we're doing this. Oh, I found a hyperventilating engineer.
Alright, where's
Oh,
the Mika?
ow.
Over there.
I marked him with 1.
Don't worry, Juan, we're coming.
Gonna make a quick circle around him just to see if the other one that we need is anywhere nearby before I link back up with you, Adam. Quick little circly juke.
Yeah, the fact that I'm turned up on a void sense isn't going to help with hyperventilation. Nor the fact that Thanatos just unseated his chain axe scythe thing. Hey, this is fine. We're here to help.
By the gods, my chest is tight. Am I dying? Is this what dying feels like? Pardon me, I didn't see you there. There's no cause for concern, I assure you. No cause for concern. Even though we may need to depart at any moment.
And if the hull I designed buckles under the strain, the entire vessel may explode on launch, claiming countless lives, consuming all mankind. But that's highly unlikely. Yes, highly unlikely.
Also, if
Highly.
the pressure gets too great and it's not designed against it, it would implode in space because of the air pressure.
Our visitors can help me triple check the structural flaws, you say? That would be wonderful. Oh, I'm breathing more easily already.
Should I mention the implosion part? I think I should mention the implosion part.
The Labyrinthos will cover that with a lot more tact.
So, yeah, if you can survive the explosion, you have to worry about the implosion.
Found a harried etherologist up here.
What?
A harried etherologist.
And Harry
I'll
Potter
mark
already
him with
got
A.
this.
Just waiting on Rathalos.
Come on, Rathy, bring the Thampy.
Alright.
Only I can make him shoot a fire.
Pretty sure this one's a guy. I see no boobs. Oh, blasted assistants! Have they gone off to at a time like this? Beg pardon, but I've not time for idle chit-chat. I need to reconfirm that ether levels are consistent throughout the vessel's machinery, and it seems I shall have to do so single-handedly. I swear when I find those assistants of mine... The Loprits are willing to help. Why didn't you say so? I just did. At least they won't moan about how they checked 24 times already and haven't slept in weeks. Lazy sods. I feel like there's another problem here.
Yeah.
It's fucking over.
Rianjay, save us! I took 6,169 points of damage on that fall. Nice.
Orange.
We should put up signs
Orange!
about that. The fact that we take more damage than other people, does that mean we're heavier? Or...
Yes.
It's
You
just
need, you need to lay back, knee.
Okay,
Behold.
Parental. You know, you could go to the moon when I punt you there with my boat.
Through thine efforts, word hath spread throughout Labyrinthos. Verily, to a far greater number than we anticipated. Livingway doth gather more Loprits as we speak. I shall assign each in accordance with their skills, that new bonds of friendship might be forged. Should greater matters require not thine attention, watch over them, I prithee.
Now we must wait. Darn it, Alfie, I can't do the thing.
I believe this cutscene is voiced.
Is it? Camera angle makes me think yes.
Yes, it is.
Engage auto events.
Phew! Oh, finally some rest! Why, I haven't spoken so much in, well, in forever.
Lively, isn't it? The town is abuzz. Everyone eager to meet with our friends on the moon.
'Twould behoove you to consult with Sleepingway. As our moon's pilot, his advice should be most
He's
pertinent.
the pilot?
I'm impressed. Truth be told, I struggle to tell one from another.
If you can say
No
it.
offense intended, of course.
Don't they have a flying way? Why is it
taken.
sleeping way?
After you and your friends left Mare Elementorum, we spent no small amount of time with your Urianger. Oh, the conversations we had. He told us all about Atheris, answered our every question, no matter how trifling or trivial. Look! Every page filled to the margins with knowledge. When I first arrived, I was struck by how little I knew. It was daunting. But then I realized that, were it not for Urianger and his teachings, we'd still be stuck on the moon, gazing at your world and wondering what we've been missing.
What would they think if they could see Urianger now? I dare say they'd be more than a bit surprised. And impressed, no doubt. Master Louisoix, Minfilia, Papalimo, and not to forget...
Yeah, Moonbreeder's parents, isn't that a thing? Speaking thereof, I assume.
Oh there. Heard there was a visiting expert who we might
is
bother
that?
with a few questions.
Moonbreeder's parents.
I take it you'd be the one.
You couldn't escape this conversation forever.
Yes, I am.
Wilson and Blovida, Charlian's foremost researchers in the field of teleportation magic, and Moonbreeder's parents.
Gave our lives so we could kill our first Ascian.
It hath been some time.
This is gonna be awkward.
'Tis good to see you in good health.
Likewise, old friend. Blovida and I were most honored to answer the call. Never expected this reunion, though, did we, dear?
Their daughter's old boyfriend. With the
Arthur,
anatomically accurate doll.
the nerve.
That was actually a fuck up on
Sending
the
that
localization
letter,
team's part.
then running off to the gods know where.
And yet it's in the game.
The Japanese version or any other version, so.
Whoa.
Do you have
Hugs.
any idea how worried we were?
I'm sorry.
He doesn't know what to
'Twas
do.
remiss of me not to deliver the news in person. No, more than that. 'Twas I who...
Our daughter was disillusioned after Master Louisoix left her behind. The day the Scions called upon her was the happiest I'd seen her in years. She made her every choice of her own free will. No one could have ever forced her to do otherwise. Don't blame yourself for her death. Celebrate her life. You know that's what she'd want.
If there is one thing we resent you for, it was that we could not be there to mourn her with you. Reading the words you penned in that shaky hand, we must have cried as much for you as we did for her.
I'm sorry. I truly,
How
truly
very you.
am. I knew not what to say. Knew not how to express my feelings. The poems and platitudes of wiser men, musings on sadness and loss, studied and memorized, and meaningless in the moment.
Silly boy. We are all powerless before such grief. Even now,
Yes.
try as I might, the words escape me. But in our hearts, we know. We always know.
I remember when you were young, how the lads teased you for choosing the company of books over others. Our moon didn't take kindly to that. Be nice to Urianger, she'd shout, and give them a walloping. No matter how many times we scolded her.
So we offered a suggestion. Rather than starting fights, why don't you be the bridge between Urianger and the others? She had to mull it over for a while, arms crossed, brow furrowed in intense thought. But from that day on, she never let you be alone. She'd drag you outside to play, pepper you with endless questions, read the same books you read, all to try and understand you that much better. I'm sure it was annoying and exhausting at the time, but she only ever had the best of intentions.
And look at you now, at the center of the crowd. The reason there even is a crowd, having brought these people together. You've no idea how proud we are.
To see the boy our daughter trusted and believed in more than anyone grow into the man she always knew he could be. I can see her in you too. Feel her. She walks with you wheresoever you go. So thank you, Urianger, for being who you are.
I think I can feel her too. The truth of her life. Not sorrow, but hope and love.
This moon breeder. She was important to him, wasn't she?
You could ask the man himself.
Oh, no. But watching this exchange reminds me how much I've yet to learn about your world. And its people.
You can live here your entire life and hardly learn a thing. And that's why it's too soon for this to end.
Nice to give him room breeder a bit more since she went so bloody soon.
Yeah.
We didn't even know her all that well in this scene.
We had her for a couple of patches, 3 patches I think it was.
Yep.
Mostly just knowing her as the one who constantly just hits on Riachi.
Orange's love interest. She's the one who actually gave, if you remember, she was the one who gave us White Aura Sight to begin with.
She's the whole reason we knew how to kill an Ascian.
Why we brought her in.
Yeah.
We were an expert on that and gave her life to do it when hitting it with an axe didn't work.
So did I hear you sniffling in that, Hades?
Just a bit. Show your face.
Yeah, it's alright. Nothing wrong with feeling, buddy.
This is like just seeing Urianger's shape, because I've never seen anything get to him other than food burritos. Yeah.
The guy's usually very stoic, yeah. That scene got to me too.
And just like
the
hearing,
animation,
like, how
the voice acting,
he was
is
picked
great.
on, and she came in and like beat everybody up, and got to the point of like, hey, I'm gonna drag you out every day to play and to reach out to people, and now look at him.
I don't think he ever really let himself mourn her death. Kind of bottled it up.
At any rate.
How you feeling, Orange?
Oh, be assured that I'm fine. I am. Full glad to see them too, after so very long. Gladder still that I was in your company. As difficult as it was to accept their kindness, it would have been far harder had I faced them alone.
And that is why we are here. We are here for the orange.
Apparently Moon Breeder means Moon's Bride. According to Wilson here.
It means what?
Moon's Bride. talking to her parents.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's saying that they named her Moon's Bride because she was born in a full moon. Then they later wondered why they didn't name her after the sun instead, given how fiery she was.
Wait, are we not talking to Orange?
I was just talking to the parents first because I want to see what they said.
Alright, let's talk to Orange, but then I have to go AFK for a bit. My parents are coming back from a shopping trip, and I have to help unload because my dad still can't do any heavy lifting after his surgery.
Alright.
Fair enough.
Thou hast my gratitude for lending courage to the Lobrits. Not disposed to rest on their laurels, several of our guests have elected to accompany my countrymen to their stations. Some few may still come hither seeking counsel, and so shall I remain to aid them as need be. If thou art needed elsewhere, do not let me detain thee. As a matter of fact, I was hoping you might check on Alize. Last I saw, she was struggling to carry an enormous pile of boxes out the west gate. I could go myself, but we both know whose help she likes to scorn. Not to mention that, much to my misfortune, I can think of several other things I ought to be doing. Until later.
Yeah, so we're the only ones that she's not gonna like go, fuck off, I can do this on my own.
Yeah, she'll get angry at anyone else.
The person she's crushing on, you mean?
Either crushing on or hero worshipping, depending.
I think it's
on your
more
head
either
on
a
it.
hero worship or a big brother thing.
Like, the full extent of the relationship between the Warrior of Light and the various Scions is usually just up to individual interpretation.
I always got the feeling that her and Grahatia are crushing massively and always competing for it.
Oh no, Grahatia definitely has a
It's
grudge.
definitely hero worshipping.
Yes. So is Alize. Alfino probably sees us
I mean,
as the big brother.
they've been called out for like competing for the Warriors of Light and affection.
Also,
by the other
Y'shtola is
Scions.
definitely considered. I'm definitely considering Y'shtola just thinks she's our mom at some points.
Oh yes, the dialogue has even reflected that. To be fair.
No, I don't mind if you help me with the boxes, but it's far from the most exciting of tasks. Are you sure?
Sure.
Well, I appreciate the assistance. We need to get these to Aporia. Time is short, of course, but they're full of organic specimens and samples, so try not to be too rough with them. Alphino should be waiting for us when we arrive. I'll see you there.
Another round of crate carrying.
Yep.
Great, great. Let's avoid enemies.
I'm going this way.
We have fought primals, felled gods, saved the world countless times over, and in 3 minutes we're going to be defeated by a crate.
He who felled the great Emmett Selk.
Quick, let's
defeated by a crate.
get Muggles, and then Thanatos can call upon his dynamis. Break
So-
the limits.
Here's a question. Xenos is pretty much as powerful as we are. Like, say, like, fighting Emmett Selk or, like, any of the really powerful beings that we fought. Would it
Elizabeth
just
ran.
be nothing to him? Or...
Elizabeth run away from him.
Yeah.
Elizabeth did run away. So.
Alright, Alphino.
Oh, you're helping with the crates. Wonderful. You can put that there with the others.
Poof. Disabling auto advance.
Oh, right.
You have my gratitude, but how did you come to be involved in this?
1 second. Tater tot.
Ha! Then I suppose I have Thancred to thank as well. Thank, Red. If you're wondering why we were tasked with bringing those boxes to Aporia to begin with, so was I. It turns out that this is a base of operations of sorts. Those with final say as to what is included in the ship's manifest can be found here.
Final days, final says.
Father included, I suspect.
That should be everything.
You carried all of that at once? Are you trying to injure yourself?
Oh, hush, they're lighter than they look. And not everyone has your delicate arms. I suppose we should let someone know that we've finished.
That name is in the courtyard. You can report to him.
Theopolden.
Why don't you come along? You should get credit for your assistance at least. Considering where we are, we might even learn something.
I'm totally calling that she was showing off for us.
Oh, absolutely.
Big crate where we had a little piddly one. Though she is the one, and every time I've had a competition with her, that if she wins, she gets pouty and says we let her.
But if we do win, she gets pouty that she didn't beat us.
Yeah, can't live with her.
Nah, it's fine. Part of what makes her endearing.
Take my speed juice.
You still another ether?
Last one.
Etherite.
This zone. One more zone. Space.
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 Space!
Space!
Gods, it never ends, does it? What can I do for you?
We've brought samples from Charlie and Hamlet. Series 110? The crates are by the entrance.
Ah, thank you. I'd expected one of my colleagues, but we are dreadfully short-handed. Just a moment. You're Fortuno's children, are you not?
Alphino and Alize at your service. You're well acquainted with Father, I take it?
Quite. I've been friends with your parents since our days at the studium. I remember when you were yay high, waddling hither and thither. Clearly it's been quite some time since we've met. 'Tis good to see you again, and wielding your father's newliths, no less.
Against his will, trust us.
He didn't really complain when he saw Alphino using them before.
Yeah, another thing to complain about.
You knew our parents when they were young? What were they like? Pray spare no detail.
I should like nothing more than to regale you. Alas, I am meant to be in charge here, and reams of paperwork want for submission.
We can help with that. In exchange for the sort of stories our parents would never willingly divulge, of course.
Very well then. There happen to be 3 sets of documents in need of delivery, so how about you each take one? Oh. There are your thoughts.
Wait right there. Spew.
Alize is on a mission.
Get dirt about their parents.
You'll find a forum representative waiting to collect these near the southernmost structure. I hope I haven't kept up with you too long. Never mind Alphino and Alize. I'm certain they'll be back soon enough.
Alize will get Fortuno to show parental affection, even if you have to blackmail him into it.
She's wanting more of the dirt on her father or her mother?
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably the father mostly, but yes.
We all know how children do so love to hear their parents' embarrassing stories as revenge for all the times the parents embarrassed them.
I feel like the mother would encourage it.
Probably. Hades found him.
Over here. Other side of the building.
I went the long way around.
Are you not one of the scions of the Seventh Dawn? I thought you were meant to be working on the Ether Banner.
Well, 2 of us are book dumb, so here's a scroll. And the one who isn't book dumb needs to look after us. She's a Tiara.
Theopolden's paperwork! I was beginning to worry he had misplaced his quill. I appreciate your help in seeing these documents to my hands, at least. As for your other task... Pray keep this between us, but I sincerely hope you Scions succeed. The Exodus is, without a doubt, the most monumental undertaking in the history of the Forum, and so we must circumspect in all aspects. Risk is a privilege we cannot afford ourselves. At its heart, however, Charlian has ever been a nation of the curious. It would be a tragedy indeed if we were the ones to stymie your pursuit of truth.
Yeah, she voted for us.
Yeah, I like her.
Just shout out everyone in the forum. The bitch.
All right, Theopaldon.
Share embarrassing stories.
With pictures.
Quick and efficient. I dare say you have a talent for this work. The twins' papers only needed to be delivered elsewhere in the facility, so they should be returning any moment.
Tell us an embarrassing story, not fortune. Was he a dork?
One sec. Paper tots.
We can't. I imagine he was
top
like
center tickers.
2.0 alpha now.
We return, with not a scrap of paperwork remaining on our persons, you will note.
You both have my thanks, and my apologies for sending you on an errand far below your ambitions. Why, even as a babe, you struggled out of your swaddling clothes, and...
That's quite enough of that, thank you. It was compromising stories of our parents that we'd asked to hear to reiterate.
Oh no, do continue.
Of course, of course. I've known your father so long, I must have something. Well, as you know, part of why the Levier name garners such respect in Charlian is your family's storied history. You two can trace your ancestry directly to those who came aboard New Crimp's Hope, a lineage few can claim.
I've never thought much of it myself. It's not as though our forebears founded our nation and they were simply there when it happened.
Nevertheless, it has traditionally been a point of pride. This is why Newcrim's pronouncement, "Renounce the ways of war and pursue enlightenment through knowledge and reason," has ever been our family's creed. Until your grandfather's time, aye. Archon Louis Sword looked not to Newcrim's words, but his deeds. He asserted, in defiance of his peers, that choosing to save the great and small from the rising tides was the true mark of our founder's virtue. Perhaps it was his expertise, his knowledge of ancient prophecy and the fall of civilizations that led him to conclude that to eschew conflict at every turn was to consign mankind to his doom.
There will ever be conflict, and calamity will follow. Thus, to ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence.
Words that we have
You
lived
remember his
by
words?
for the entire game.
You remember his words well. Indeed, Archon Louis Swat lived by that personal creed, and used every means at his disposal to bring succor to those in need, Charlian or no. No one loved and admired your grandfather more than his son. Yet Fortuno could not reconcile Louis Swat's deeds with the philosophy of their forebears and his peers, a philosophy in which he believed so fervently, it made a pariah of his father. Fortuno agonized over this contradiction for much of his life. God's father. A son may carry his father's blood, but his choices are his own to bear. Is it not always thus? Gods know Fortuno's a cranky old goat, so I'm sure you butt heads often enough, yet even so, you must know you're constantly in his thoughts, every moment of every day, and that is not an exaggeration in the slightest. You should have seen him when you were born. Barely recognizable he was, with a kind of dumbfounded grin I'd not seen since he first took a fancy to your mother. He was practically skipping when he told me the news. Take my word for it, he loves you to an embarrassing degree.
Just wish he'd show it.
But he is also frustratingly single-minded. Once he's decided that a given action is for the best, he will stay the course no matter who or what opposes him. A profoundly annoying habit when you're on the other end of it, as I'm sure you will agree.
I'll say.
Thank you for your insight. When next we meet our parents, I shall mention that we spoke.
Maybe ask him to give you back your names.
Try not to get me into too much trouble now. I need the forum on my side. Speaking of which, I ought to be getting back to work. I'll have to make sure these specimens you brought make it to their proper places, or the cranky old goat will have my hide. We can speak again later. Hail, you three. I have no idea who's talking. Oh, it's Graha.
Graha! Surely Coco hasn't driven you out of the forge already?
For better or for worse, no. However, he has set me a task that requires more than a single pair of hands, and here you are. I could use at least one of you, but I won't object to more. Unfortunately, Alizé and I have prior commitments, and we have delayed too long as it is.
What about you? Can you spare the time?
Apparently I'm sparing all the time.
We have nothing but time to spare right now. Perfect. This shouldn't take long. Agra. In the event that our, and I quote, promised heap of adamantine falls right out of the bloody sky and into my lap, Master Coco wishes to be ready to put the proverbial hammer to anvil at a moment's notice. To fabricate these parts, however, he needs the flames in Coco's forge to burn hotter. He sent me to increase the amount of ether being funneled to his furnaces. The flow of fire aspected ether in Labyrinthos is regulated by an elemental reactor south of here, to which I have borrowed the key. The adjustment will require 2 people to carry out safely, but I can explain the process when we arrive.
This is where we part then. We'll see you in Charlie and Hamlet once the adamantine arrives, if not before.
This way then.
We need an Uber. We got a peacock.
I am very upset at what I just found.
What'd you just find?
On Discord. Okay, and we completely tab out, which will... Kirby, know why.
Fuck.
And people wonder why I hate memes.
I love memes, they're hilarious more often than not, but that one's just unsettling.
I can feel Bernard's frown and grin at the same time. Very contradictory.
Like she's just looking at the crystal like,
That is something.
Now please stop eating me.
Why?
ooh,
Do you think
ether current.
Aaron... Oh, you missed one back there, by the way.
I did?
Yeah, we ate it when you
When we were waiting for you, we found one.
Oh. And you said nothing?
Well, we were busy. We were narrating.
No Uber for you.
Very well then. I have my own.
Gra?
You got water all over my nice car! Damn it.
An upper.
I'm in dialogue. I'm stuck. The Graha has me enraptured. And she's gonna hit me. Ow. I'm not in dialogue anymore. Anyway.
Alright. Gra. The reactor is housed within this facility. I'll be the one to go inside and adjust the fire ether output. When I do, a rather large amount of water aspected ether will issue from the vent at the top. I expect this to attract at least a few elementals, but we would both rather not be drawn into the reactor itself, trust me. Can I ask that you put down any that draw too near? They'll pose you little trouble, I'm sure. Wait here, if you would.
That it? Are they dead? Hades, where are you going?
Cutscene.
Yeah. Alright. Is this forced?
Alright.
Did everything go smoothly out here? I thought as much. No major complications to speak of inside either. And the water ether appears to be venting properly. I expect Coco will have seen a difference in his forge flames by the time I return. Since I have you, there was another matter I thought to discuss with you. Nothing terribly important, merely something I've been considering. Part of this I shared with everyone, yet you, and only you, have been to Elpis. As we have established, refined adamantite is a product of Alec, of the Empire's twilight years, in fact. It was a material which saw much use as part of the Allegan's efforts to extend beyond the bounds of this world, Dalamud, of course, being the most prominent. Of course, of those who would push further, expand Alec's empire to encompass the heavens and the stars above, perhaps the greatest was its infamous technologist, Armin.
We have Matt. He's a dick.
Fandaniel.
Hermes.
What do we say?
I don't know.
Maybe he was looking for a certain someone.
That would necessitate he remembered his life as Hermes, so do we ask that?
Sure.
Yes.
Alright. Did he remember his life as Hermes?
I believe he had his own reasons. There is no evidence to suggest that he retained memories of his former life. He only joined the Asians once the Empire was all but dust, as you know. If not his memory, though, what drove him to pursue the idea with such fervor? This may seem far-fetched, but what if souls, like minds, have a personality, so to speak? A natural disposition towards which they are inclined? We know with relative certainty that it was the gross decadence and inexorable decline of Aleg that moved Armin to resurrect Emperor Zande. The Empire's people spoke lightly of death and destruction, experimenting on those they deemed beneath them to fill the emptiness in their hearts. In facilitating Zande's return, Armin provided these languid souls with the means to free themselves from the mire of their own indolence. Or would have, had not Zande been convinced by his own death that life itself was meaningless. Armin's desire for his countrymen to conquer the heavens could only be a means to the same end, to instill the people with new purpose. Like Hermes before him, Armin was appalled by how those around him lived, but could never bring himself to believe that those lives were devoid of meaning. And both of them sought that meaning, that hope, in the distant stars.
And history repeat itself, he broke.
Such is my theory, anyway. Ultimately, it is the consequences of their actions which matter. Their motives are of no moment, and yet... To reach those stars on wings of adamantite, to travel to the ends of creation and beyond, the promise of hope everlasting. That much I do understand. But enough musing for now. Why don't we see how Kokola's getting on?
Yeah, he came back as Amon and just repeated the same steps as Hermes.
Just with a bit less power and under a shorter span of time.
Yeah, valued life, got depressed at how fragile life was and his attitude. Looked for life in the stars, didn't find it, got depressed, decided to kill everything.
Let's see. Nope, not here. I thought there was another. I thought there was another ether current there, but no, it's not that one. All right.
Destined and doomed to follow the same steps he had already lived.
Indeed.
Already made worse when he remembered those steps later.
Well, the thing is, he wouldn't have remembered the shit with Medion and...
Emmett didn't remember, so he can give this back. But he would have,
Yeah.
I mean, he would have remembered the events around it and then the false memories as well.
Yeah, he would only have the false memories Kairos gave him, so...
But he would have remembered Medion and losing Medion.
He would have remembered Medion popping like a balloon, yeah.
So again, probably didn't help.
Definitely didn't help, but Fandaniel himself did go on record to say that the memories of Hermes never really felt like part of him
I wonder
to him.
what would happen, like, if we cured Medion and, like, got it from the hive mind and got relatively back to normal and she met Fandaniel.
That would probably not be a good thing, because she has no control over the memories she absorbs from others, and the memories from Fandaniel, or the emotions from Fandaniel, would not be good for her.
It would definitely
Keep those two separated.
It would definitely distress her to see what Hermes has become.
Ugh, I can feel those flames ablazing from here. Glad you found someone capable, Graha, but there's not much left for you lot to do. Unless you can conjure up that refined adamantite any faster.
We have people for that.
The last one, keep it going.
I do trust you to deliver on your promise, I do. Only... I hate waiting! I want that adamantite, and I want it now! We, share your impatience, I assure you. Is there truly nothing else we can assist with in the meantime? Oh, I wish! The sitting about's unbearable! Pity the forum frowns on recreational explosions. So long as I can't prove it was premeditated, get you gone. I've mistakes to make. In that case, I suppose I should go and return the key to the reactor. I'll have one more look to make sure that nothing has gone wrong, unintentionally or otherwise. I'm certain there are other uses for your time, however. I will join you when Charlie and Hamlet are on.
You know, Labyrinthos and Thavnair are both about the same size as other zones in this game, you know, with expansion size zones, yet they both feel markedly smaller to me whenever I'm going through them. Yeah, just for whatever reason, when I'm flying around in Thavnair, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking like, man, this place is small. But then I realize that like the actual scale is no different from other zones and it just feels like it because, I don't know.
Maybe it's just...
Await thine companions.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know why it does, why it feels like that, it just does.
Maybe, I would describe this place as small. What even? Labyrinth. That's why it's called Labyrinthos.
I don't know. This cutscene is voiced, but I'll wait you all at the first dialogue since we were on the interaction thing.
All set, I take it.
Yeah. Let us all know when we're all at Ishtola's line.
I'm good to go.
Alright, let's go. Enabling text auto advance.
We finished what we could. Delivered supplies, tracked down escaped animals. Trivial tasks as they may be.
That's enough, don't you think? If there was anything more important still undone, that would be a problem in itself.
The vessel is essentially ready for departure. All that remains is to load the final batch of supplies and see everyone on board. Once we've readied the ether burner, that is.
Ah, had a feeling we might find you all here.
Our consultations with the Loperites, too, have run their course. Pleased I am to say that our researchers' concerns have for the most part been allayed, though some insist on making adjustments to the very end. For their part, Livingway and her peers have graciously offered to stay and keep the people company, lest any lingering queries go unanswered.
All that remains is to wait for the refined adamantite.
Alphino, are you there? It's me, Kryl. Your special delivery has arrived. Round up everyone and come to the harbor at once.
Timing.
Speak of the devil. Let us go at once.
Let's be a Kryl that way. She'll scold you.
Forgive the intrusion, Master Fortuner. I bring urgent news. A great commotion has broken out in Scholar's Harbour. Your presence is requested, with all speed.
Kind of commotion?
Commotion? We just brought the Elemental.
Now, where might this delivery be?
And how many people in the city proper would know about that? Considering how short notice it was?
Oh.
Fair.
Fair enough.
I'm on a loading screen.
I'm looking at Hey, it's the Prima Vista.
I'm sure it's very important, but we cannot accept these without the proper permits.
Oh.
By the 12! Surely,
Screw
these
you.
can't all be...
Like the Prima Vista.
The airship!
Oh, there's the Enterprise. Oh, there's the Sky Pirates. It's Kate Sith.
Yep. Everything we've done is being validated.
Bleeding hellfire! They're bringing them by sea and by air. All
Those
these
Sky
folks in
Pirates?
these crates.
Kate Sith!
Kitty.
And more on the way.
Leofard,
Got your
my
adamantite
man.
right here. A bigger haul than any of these sorry
all of the
bastards
side
brought,
raids
and that's no
content you've
lie.
done in the game up to this point is validated.
Where is Alpha and Omega?
Yes, because you were charged with seeing the shipments from Gridania and Uldar here, along with your own. Give credit where credit is due.
Sounds like the sorry whinging of a sore loser. An hypocrite to boot. Ain't no way a scrawny whelp like you took a dozen steps inside a Dalamon shard.
I'll have you know I went all the way to the entrance. Furthermore, 'twas my contacts that enabled us to enlist the cooperation of the Sky Pirates.
Left you outside so you wouldn't get anyone killed, did they? Well then, credit where credit's due, you did a right fine job sitting on your ass.
Oh dear.
Take that back.
Make me.
I will not stoop to your level.
I love Sickard.
My, what a grand
Saraban?
welcome party. Hancock and Saraban. We come bearing relics both sacred and Allegan, as well as a few other
Saraban.
gifts that may be of help, to be presented with best wishes from the Eastern Alliance.
Eureka gets addressed here if you've done that.
I myself have come with a sacred relic of Rayson Temple. 'Twas passing fortunate that Senri's dango craving brought us to Kuganay. We
Kuganay?
arrived precisely as Hancock was making his arrangements.
I mean, I guess Avela will get the Eureka stuff since I'm doing that before.
Upon learning of your need, we made haste back to Hell's Lid, with our dango, never fear, and consulted with the other auspices. All consented to the lending of Tenzin's legendary Phoenix Blade for this noble cause.
Tenzin's Blade. I'm guessing you get more stuff the more side content you've done.
Suzaku and Seiryu were nevertheless worried that it might be lost in transit, however, and insisted upon accompanying me to Onokoro, where I had intended to entrust it to our Confederate
How
allies.
empty can this be if you haven't done any of the side
I thought
content?
instead to give it
No
over to
idea.
Hancock
I'm
when
not
we
about to make a new
chanced
character
to
to find
cross
out.
paths yet again. But alas, Seiryu remained ill at ease, and ordered me see the blade into your hands personally, or die trying.
Oh lord, hell yeah.
We did, of course, need quite the impressive vessel to get it all here in time.
Yes, Hancock, you took the Prima Vista.
Fortunately, our majestic associates have been more than helpful. 'Tis an honor to join the Warrior of Light on another adventure, they tell
There
me.
must be so many variations of this cutscene.
That is all wonderful to hear, but what of the extraordinary cost? I shudder to think of the ransom we must pay for such a bounty. Fret not for your coin purse, young Alphino. Lord Lolorito looks ever towards the profits of the future, and thus the East Aldenard Trading Company went to some lengths to reduce the financial liability. And since the Scions funded the entire venture, not a gill need be rendered up in compensation. Everything is already yours.
We funded the venture? When?
Don't let the name fool you. This coin keeper knows a thing or two about spending.
That laugh.
When it comes to capital investiture, a sprinkling of gil here and there will not do. You need enough savings to make waves when it really counts. Which is why frugality is paramount. We also had the benefit of a generous patron. Generous being rather an understatement. She has supported us from the shadows since the very founding of the Scions. We even had coffers to fill.
She funded the Scions. Oh, Fortuno's face.
Chameleons.
I remain, of course, an entirely neutral party.
Of course,
I simply thought our family's coffers were needlessly full.
Oh.
We can hardly take them
sir.
with us on your teeny tiny toy boat, now can we? And 'twould be a shame to leave all that hard-earned wealth unspent. Waste not.
Oh. Fortuno, you married Torda Tataru. Congrats.
However did you manage so much in so short a time? We expected word to reach only a fraction of our allies.
Did I not tell you I have my ways?
Erenville, you were involved too.
I received a letter from Cryo after we parted ways in Labyrinthos. She explained what the Scions were trying to accomplish, and why you might soon require the services of the Gleaners, spread across the world as we are. I pray you do not interpret this as a betrayal of Charlian. I accept that the Forum's aim in pushing us to our limits was to preserve what knowledge we have, and I bear you no ill will for it. Yet, in collecting that knowledge, what I came to appreciate most about our star is that there remains so much we do not know. That is why I chose to help the Scions, to combat the obliteration of those countless undiscovered wonders. I held no illusions that they would be less demanding taskmasters. Though, rest assured, if I had, I would have been sorely disappointed. To make a long story short, the whole of the guild ship cooperated to ensure your call was heard far and wide.
Good bunny boy.
Omega! And Alpha! And Sid, finally. Oh.
What's this about a ship that can fly to the moon? And why didn't you mention it sooner? The one time you don't beg my aid, your problem's a bloody ship that can fly to the moon.
Yeah, I should have called
Sid,
Ironworks sooner.
You brought the team. Of course. Garland Ironworks' finest. You need only point us towards my new favorite ship.
Imagine Omega had some pointers there.
Oh, I nearly forgot. We stopped by Whirlit before coming here and picked up a package from Gaius.
Let Alpha at it as well.
He's still of the mind
My
that
new
actions
favorite
make for
ship.
better penance than words, contrite or otherwise, so we offer none of the latter. What he sent is an Allagan relic Valens used in his weapons experiments.
Valens.
There's a fair bit of refined adamantite in it too.
More adamantite from the weapons.
As you like us not suspect, we've also brought adamantite from Mordona's Dalamud Shard. I admit to some consternation upon first receiving Quoll's message. So few scions remain at the Rising Stones now. Far too few for such an expedition. However, the Gleaners were able to secure us reinforcements. Idleshire's treasure hunters, not least among them. I know. How the Gobbyflock fought. Slowfix's gratitude for the safe return of his daughter has not waned, and he gathered his kin to our side with an astounding quickness.
The goblins?
From Alexandria.
The clash between their machina and the Allegan defences was a sight to behold. I wager even you would have been impressed by the magnitude of the gobby booms.
Fascinating as all this is, I fail to see how it explains your presence here. Does Razat Han not have more pressing concerns?
We do. Yet averting the final days would be the most expedient solution. That, and I am indebted to you. Though they chose to take their leave of Thavnair, those you saved in Galimund remain my people. My gratitude is beyond words. 'Tis appropriate that I aid you in kind. If in the doing we bring salvation to others of this star, so much the better. You will recall that I spoke of my father, Midgard Summer, and his journey across the great expanse. As he traveled betwixt the stars, his resplendent scales drank of the ether in those nigh empty surrounds, and imparted to him the strength to persevere. Thinking they might further your cause, I called out to my kin for consent. Hydaelyn's answer was silence, as ever. Tiamat and Hrisvelgre, however, responded favorably to the suggestion. My sire, too, stirred from his slumber long enough to speak and say, "Very well."
So that does get mentioned.
Thus have I brought you his own worm scales. Fit them to your purpose, and seek a worthier fate for us all.
Grumbling from his sleep.
You'd be hard-pressed to find someone else so familiar with the unique properties of dragon scales.
And we took scales
So I
from
invited
Midgard
myself.
Summer's corpse.
He's not using them.
Bugger me, this is so unbelievable. I've gone right back round to believing it again.
Well, Coco?
Forget a 6% gain in efficiency. With all these goodies, we could get 7, no?
Coco's great.
10, no! 14 bleeding percent! Think of how far we could go! What we could do with that much power! What we could blow up!
Oh dear.
If Kokol is duly convinced, then it must be true. In which case, the scion's end of the bargain has been fulfilled. Would you not agree?
Blow up!
Blow up!
Yes, Father?
Swear to God.
I know not what you seek of Hydaelyn, nor for what purpose you would take command of our ship. Yet this much is certain. To do so will be to dictate the fate of this star and the lives upon it. The lives of each and every creature, in their magnitude and their fragility. Do you understand? And are you prepared?
We have seen and we have felt how much each life shapes this world. And so we are determined to abandon none. We understand what is at stake, and we are prepared to bear this burden.
Then I will bear it with you.
It's about bloody time.
I beg you, share your struggles with me.
Stubborn
As
bastard, but we
family.
got through to him in the end.
You grasped my fingers with such tiny hands the day you were born. I thought my heart might burst. 'Twas love and happiness beyond expression. Overwhelming, and a conviction so powerful that I trembled with something close to rage. I had heard the final days foretold. I swore to myself then and there that I would not let them steal your futures. The great Exodus would succeed, must succeed. No sacrifice or sin was worse than the alternative. If anything gave me pause, 'twas mine own father. The Archon Louisois openly decried Charlian's policies, a perspective which I regarded with increasing disdain as I grew older. Yet even as part of me thought him a fool, perhaps I also hoped that he, of all people, would devise a brilliant means to save my children. A naive hope, but stubborn enough that I could never bring myself to keep you apart. No, that was his doing, when he perished at Cartano. As we pulled that twisted slab of Dalamud from the sea, I remembered the warmth of your newborn touch. Chastened, I vowed never again to suffer any interference in my mission to protect you. No matter that you yourselves wished otherwise. Detest me, fight me tooth and nail, I would suffer it, and more, and be satisfied so long as I could force you onto the ship. I was wrong. You two have grown so much stronger and so much wiser than I dared dream. You have earned the right to walk your own path, and already begun to do so.
Good. Because there are things we care about, and people we love, and none of them is replaceable. Not a one.
It cannot have been an easy journey for you to have come so far.
We shall be glad to acquaint you with the finer details someday, once this danger has passed.
You'd have a heart attack.
All that we have seen and heard, that we have felt and learned in our travels. Ours is not a kind world, but it is beautiful. Always.
Oh no. Are you quite sure that's wise? After all, someone turns pale and flees the room when he sees so much as an envelope containing word of your adventures. Whatever will happen if he learns what you were really up to.
Millions is great.
A millions.
Is he aware of that time their bodies were comatose while they're on the first?
Fortuno, can I steal your wife? This is an amazing one.
Though I have wronged my children most gravely,
I owe you an apology as well. I assumed that it was the Scion's influence that made them so keen to charge headlong into danger. Yours, in particular.
Hey, they dragged me into
I see
this,
now
so you
that
know.
said influence instead brought them together with the many fine people
we just kind
gathered
of
here
bounced off
today.
each other.
In which case, I
They
hope
were
you
on the
continue to
path.
guide them.
Yeah.
If we've finished loitering about the harbour, might I suggest we put our plans into motion? People are beginning to look confused.
Perhaps you can spare a few words ere they resume the tedious lugging of
But he
cargo.
did.
You've no small number of friends and admirers
Then immediately
here after all.
imploded 6.
And now here comes our theme tune.
So many peoples.
What do we say?
How did they find Alpha and Omega?
I'm sure.
They're just wandering around, so they probably heard word and all that.
I mean, Omega's crossed the stars as well. I'm sure he has some insight.
If only he could communicate right now. He hasn't figured that out yet, so he's just
guys.
along for the ride to observe.
Plug him into a computer.
Nice.
Also, third one. Short, simple, gets to the
With-
point, get it done.
With me!
Guys.
Yes?
The Avengers have assembled.
Let's go to space.
Gotta talk to Mom
Your
first.
assistance is appreciated. Now, in an orderly fashion, if you please.
There's nothing orderly about these misfits we've gathered. Have you seen that? We got a sapient chocobo right there.
He can't talk, but he understands.
He can talk. He can talk to us, remember?
On occasion, yeah.
The
It's not a terribly consistent thing.
Well, his soul, when his soul formed completely at the ends of it, we could understand him through the echo. But we only heard him once because he left immediately afterwards.
Alright, give me just a second. Because now that we're back in Charlian, I can actually throw on my new clothes and then glamour myself.
The only thing that was missing from that is just a Goldberg wandering in his underpants.
Yeah, I'm surprised we don't see Godbird or
Julian with a massive frying pan ready to like, where are these meats? Yeah, I'm gonna go get them myself. And I believe she absolutely would. She's like, what, level 120 or something?
That's the excuse I use. I don't actually have any idea what her level is.
Level 120 Dark Knight Culinary.
She's a level 150 mom. Or no, a level 150 Scott mom.
Did you say we need to end a little early?
We can do this next quest, I think. Or at least some of it. We finally managed to clear the harbor, which means the rest is in the engineer's capable hands. Meanwhile, Father has issued to us an invitation. As was agreed, he will reveal the means by which Hydaelyn may be contacted. We are to meet him at Aporia when we are ready. Given the vital knowledge she holds, I suggest we leave without delay.
This will be the next dungeon.
It transpires, however, that the Forum's method for speaking with her is not without risks. I'm curious to hear what those might entail, but regardless, be warned.
Most of those who arrived with the Adamantine have offered to stay and see to any remaining tasks that need doing. The Forum's already asked for my assistance in overseeing the process, so you needn't worry about a thing.
Thank you, Tataru. We're off to Aporia then. Right. So once we unlock this next dungeon,
yeah,
that will once we unlock it, that'll be our stopping point.
Till Tuesday, maybe.
Yeah, till Tuesday.
Although that was awesome, just seeing like all of the side stuff we've done be
Validated.
Be
Yeah,
validated.
it is a very, very good feeling.
I almost want to,
Skywise.
yeah, like see what the variations are, like what could be missing, how that is reconciled.
All right, Fortuno.
The only other thing missing is just a random, don't know, 2B or something. Oh yes, we're back. Hi.
I have already shown the others inside. You will want to speak with that name. She has the key to the lift and can send you down after me.
Oh, how? Another one that missed the trick. Gaia just showing up.
I don't know
from
how they
Astral
would be able
portal,
to put
left.
the
like bringing things
to
over
be
first.
stuff in here, so I don't know. Plus, all that was in the first, so
Can you imagine?
Yeah, they wouldn't have been able to.
Can you imagine though if Gaia just turned up, like bring various magic materials from the first, just come up with like a posse of black mass she somehow managed to round up?
well, she can't traverse the dimension,
Not yet,
the
at
world
least.
like we can.
I can have wishful thoughts, can't I? How cool that would have been.
It would be amazing if they ever do manage to figure that
If
out.
she rounded
but-
up the words of Logrif.
Anyways,
You're with Master Fortuno, yes? Step inside the lift here.
to the lower levels, where not even Archons are permitted to go.
Well, they're on live. If we want to go in, they can stop us.
Yeah, but we want to make a good impression and not just break everything we see, so...
Have you seen what we did out there? We had an airship that's also a theatre. Ow.
From here, we proceed to the heart of Labyrinthos and its most closely guarded secret, Thomazane. It marks the beginning and end of our efforts, whence we delve to seek audience with the star, and whence we will embark on our journey to the heavens. This way, if you please.
We have to go talk to Mom.
Indeed.
It's been a long time coming.
We have to talk to Crystal Mom in her natural habitat.
Been longer for her. Oh, at least since.
It's been a while since we've been in her realm.
Oh, she lost. Yeah, last time we were in her realm was the Heavensward.
Yeah, the last time she spoke to us directly and not through someone was in Heavensward when we broke down the barriers controlling
Spaceship.
the block. I don't believe this cutscene is voiced.
I'm just even
So yeah, there it is. Our sci-fi as fuck starship. Literally an interstellar ship.
Elegant stuff.
Yeah, I'm seeing some of the animanti. It's freaking long.
Yeah.
The Space Concord.
I bid you welcome to Thomazane. Direct your attention towards its center to behold the ark over which we have long labored. As you can see, 'twas designed as a medium-sized craft, the better to reduce fuel consumption. Miniaturizing magics have been applied to its interior to ensure that the thrust-to-weight ratio does not place too great a limitation on its freight capacity.
So people are smaller on the inside?
Something is smaller on the inside, yeah. The ether burner, as you know, has been removed for further modification. We shall reattach it soon enough.
Technically, that
I
since
have
it has
reached
more space, that means it's bigger on the inside.
It's a TARDIS! I have received word that Kokol and several of your allies are working on it with an intense fervor. They are sure to see it done. 'Twas by their expertise that many a prior disaster was averted. If anything, I fear they will not afford us much time for speaking with Hydaelyn ere they finish. Point taken. Let us move on. I must warn you again, however, that even with the benefit of our device, to treat with her is not a simple feat.
Fortunately, we go back like, what, 15,000 years?
Alright. I have done what I can to impress upon you the gravity of what lies ahead. Are you prepared?
Have you seen how far we've come? We've been prepared.
I am not a high enough level.
We need to be 89.
Fuck.
And we're
I
just
guess-
barely, so Yeah.
I guess this is where we're stopping then.
Okay, alright, bye guys, I'll tell you what Hydaelyn said.
No.
You would do that.
Don't you fucking dare. I will beat your ass.
How? You're 2 levels lower than me.
I have healing magic that you do not. I can compensate.
You are super squishy.
We make for the lift at the center of this chamber. Come.
We get to see Crystal Mom. Physically this time. Because I think every other time we've seen her, it's all just been in our heads.
It's all either been in our heads or some sort of projection. The one time we were actually in the ethereal sea in the anti-tower, she didn't talk to us. She sent Minfilia to talk to us and was talking through Minfilia.
But
or
now,
something akin to that.
Yeah, there was a time. There was another time as well when we're dealing with the Warriors of Darkness went up there.
Yeah, but again, that wasn't Hydaelyn herself. That was Minfilia, and actually Minfilia that time because Hydaelyn wasn't talking through her at that moment. Up until we were on the boat, we hadn't had a proper conversation with Hydaelyn since Heaven's Word.
When we got crystals back.
You mean Bana?
Yeah. As you all know, alongside our physical world exists an ethereal plane, what we refer to as the ethereal sea. As the heart of the star, the physical and ethereal are one and the same. Thus, the deeper we go, the easier it becomes to pass between said planes. We utilized this principle in constructing the anti-tower, and once more here in Thomazane. No sooner than the Forum decided to withdraw from Eorzea than we began work on this facility. Our work culminated in a device that allowed us to peer deeper into the ethereal sea than ever before, in search of Hydaelyn's ever fainter echoes. The Itoscope.
And you communicate with her through this device?
For a time, yes. But since the 7th Umbral Calamity, it has been rare to hear even a whisper. If you wish to reach her, you must journey closer to the center of the star than we have ever dared, beyond the Itoscope. Even so, I make no guarantee that you will find her, nor of your safety, not so deep in the ethereal sea. We understand, but if we are to deliver this world, we have no choice but to try.
We all know from 7 having a dunk in the live stream is always a good idea.
I know. I only wish we could do more than observe your progress from afar. The Itoscope's ocular lens, by which we may peer into the ethereal sea without placing ourselves at hazard, lies above us. Through it, we can watch and guide you. In those swirling depths, there are pockets of ether so dense and turbulent, they can unravel one's soul. If we determine that you are at risk of coming into contact with such a pocket, we will recall you with teleportation magics. To that end, it would be best if one familiar with the composition of your souls remained here, to assist in assessing said risk. Otherwise, there is an increased probability that we will extract you too early or too late.
Please, allow me. I have thought upon this much, and in truth, I do not believe that I am fit to join you in the trials ahead. The events at the Tower of Babel drained me, yes, but even before that, your capabilities far outstripped my own. There is no time to have a weak link in our vanguard, no matter how much she may wish it were otherwise. If I assist in the manner that Master Fortuno has laid out, however, I may still be of use. Will you trust in me to do so? I can think of none I'd trust more. Compared to all that effort you put into keeping us alive while our souls were in the first, preventing us from dissolving into ether on a single expedition ought to pose no challenge at all.
And even if we did, I expect you would hunt us down and restore us to health somehow. No one can escape the Baldessian woman once she has caught the scent of your ether.
After Jataru, remember, she was secretly trained as a spy and a Zodiac.
You flatter me, but rest assured that I will be keeping a close eye on all of you.
There is one more thing. Those in ages past referred to the ethereal sea as the underworld, our final resting place. In its embrace is memory washed away, leaving only the purity of one soul, or so we believe. Yet what of these memories? Few think to ask what becomes of them, cast adrift on ethereal tides. Some theorize that they linger for some time, those associated with strong sentiment in particular. In those depths, memories of the departed may even coalesce around you, for hatred or for love. Thus do I caution you to be wary, but also to have faith. Remember those who did gladly extend a hand to you, that they may lift you up once more.
So we'll see dead people.
I see dead people.
Dead people.
Alright, let's go talk to Mom.
Still, that's further putting points into my we're gonna kill Fandaniel again theory.
Indeed. Alright.
Or any of the
You
other
all ready?
Ascians that are in here.
Well,
the Itoscope lies ahead.
The ones we hit with White Aura Sight aren't technically dead more than they're stuck in the void. Well, not the void between worlds rather than the void of the 13th.
I thought the whole idea of the White Aura Sight was to keep them from going back there so that they could actually die properly. Because jumping back there was what prevented them from dying conventionally anyway, but that's not a debate for the moment. Right. We ready?
Let's go.
Light her up. So let's go see where Mom lives.
Into the Lifestream. Into the Lifestream to see Mother. Where have I heard this before?
Oh god, the Warrior of Light is Sephiroth.
Can I have a big long katana?
For my birthday, I got a bloody display of Sephiroth.
There's a paladin bunny with us.
Go through it. Welcome in.
Wow, Tom, you are just roboting it to hell out.
I'm roboting hell out.
I cannot understand a word you're saying. You sound a little better now.
Am I sounding better? Can you hear me?
Yes, there you be.
Those things are pure malcontent. The residue of lives unfulfilled.
They're kind of like the ghosts from 6.
This is the same model they used in the Omega raids for the Phantom Train.
That'd be why.
I really like the music here. It's the Labyrinthos theme, but not sucky.
So they said you talk to any NPC and you get a piece of gear.
There's an NPC we can talk to after we complete a certain main story quest that gives you your job gear. We haven't unlocked that yet.
Sorry, I'm a bit distracted. I suddenly got coinciding with that lag spike I had. I sound like a robot. I got a bunch of notifications from my phone, and it's about trying to book a jogging test in the future. Slightly drive my attention to that.
First boss?
Nope, not quite yet.
You don't have the purple line. That's the first
Ilbert?
boss. Down to our right. Oh, hi, Ilbert. Show you bloody sloppy you goose shit.
Music hasn't changed. The boss.
This is actually Ilbert though, so don't feel bad about this.
Certainly not. The gold flame is yet to materialize as anything, though.
He's taking a lot of kills.
Yeah. Start busting out your AoEs. Oh, hey, look, it's Tube Samadhi. Papalimo helping us!
Thanks, Papalimo. Nice one, Papalimo.
Just nuke Ilbert.
Yep.
We ran into Ilbert and then Papalimo nuked him.
Alright, first boss is Livia.
Oh,
Livia?
Hi,
Livia Saturnius.
Wow, this is really just all of our friends and enemies who have died just turning back up again, isn't it? It's actually them.
At the very least, they're Engi memories.
Hey, Livia, we prefer your sister.
Sister's actually really cool. You're just needlessly horny.
The guy who's very much interested. Hey,
over here.
So, how do you tell from where her arms are going?
Notice which tentacles are glowy and which ones are not when she starts casting that. I'm gonna come back through. Frustration. Oh, I wonder what that means.
She's annoyed we blew up her mech back when.
Nobody captured from her. Imagine if she saw Gaius now.
Lord Gaius.
Oh.
You were too close to that.
Oh.
Well, our healer's down.
Fortunately.
Yeah. Just
My lord
Gaius.
Get it into your head. He's not interested.
Flow of ether. It will guide you.
Oh, what do you got here?
That is for the good.
The ether is too dense. Oh, I'm losing you.
I'm coming, Cryo. Hold
it.
Wait for me. We cannot.
Wait for me.
Oh look, we're on top of the mother crystal.
There's a lot of crystallized ether down here.
It's like we're on those rings that we've seen surrounding Hydaelyn. So we're on the outer rings of Jupiter. Stop it.
Alright, let's go.
Go forth, Paladin Bunny.
Alright, who else?
Memorize is their name. I just realized that they have a really clever name.
Wow.
Memorize! I'll have no trouble getting that name memorized.
Stone?
Umbrida's axe!
Umbrida.
Her axe. Right there, see?
Hi, Umbrida. We met your parents. They're very nice.
They made Urianger cry. In a good way.
Gave him some much-needed closure.
And there she is. Tell the other Scions that we met the dead Scions here. Materialize as their weapons and kick the shit out of some assholes. Oh.
Oh no! It's so chiffon.
And he gave us a big-ass buff.
Thanks, all chiffon. That one got me. Okay, that one got me. Motherfucker. Shoot everyone turning up. Hey, we're having so much of an adventure moment, they're turning up some bit dead to be here.
Well, I mean, we're literally running around in the afterlife right now, so...
Yeah.
Seeing a few ghosts from our past was to be expected.
All the ghosts are the villagers are thinking, oh, we can finally kill them. Well, the friends do it, and they're like, nope, not gonna do that. Do that.
Time for boss 2. Wonder who it could be.
Who is it this time? Who needs... Oh!
It's hot at Extreme, baby! Cape Westwind Extreme.
How many times do you need to teach this lesson, old man?
There's a whim.
Right, so you were saying...
And we got healed.
The salt crystal. It's called the salt crystal because he's very salty that whole week he was.
Well, he's not so weak anymore.
Spent all this time on Lifestream popping up.
Oh god.
In case.
Oh god. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do?
Yep. You can tell where to go because those crystal things he breaks down have hit point bars. Go to the ones that break first.
Hey, you guys know that your boss...
Backbuster!
That your boss is with us now, right?
And we've been getting a lot of old, like, Empire. Like, Julia was the first one, now this guy.
These were the first ones we killed. Only two of the initial...
I wonder if we'll see Yahtzee. I don't...
Didn't need rescuing, I wasn't getting into it.
Just being sure.
I appreciate the gesture, but
Intro. Ah. Now. We're here. Not through with you.
Right side. Right side forward cluster.
shall not harm us.
Oh, hey, you harm us.
But this time I will call the white.
Certainly doing better than normal.
Harder. Thankless. You know, I'm glad I don't have to worry about those anymore.
It's so much easier to just be a DPS and have no responsibilities whatsoever.
There is the occasional raid where the DPS have to do something.
The only responsibility they really have is to keep their party buffs up, but those are secondary to just anything.
Cerberus, when he's trying to cover darkness, is one where Alliance B
I don't know.
to get swaddled.
Yeah, but that's not really so much a DPS specific thing, so much as that is a alliance thing, a party thing. Like just in general, DPS, all they do is punch things and occasionally pop a buff or debuff.
We're flying! Further into...
What about Red Mage?
I mean, their responsibility only really kicks in the event the healer dies. In which case, their responsibility is just to get the healer back up and keep everyone else alive until the healer is back to full capacity.
Or you just be a black mage and be completely selfish and not, and literally have no
see if you have
care in the world other than just blowing shit up. Oh my god, tank! Don't pull in too much. Eat my gluttony. I'm curious who the last boss is, if, like...
I think he said Fandaniel will be the trial. If this directly follows the trial.
I don't think it would.
Her spirit's here? I mean, she merged with Green. That's the souls in Green's body. How is she here?
Who knows? There's
Well,
probably
then
just
again,
something
she
to
is
load
the
her
Oracle of Light, so why am I questioning it?
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's probably just a case of like after she released Green from the cycle of Nymphelia, she was finally allowed to pass on properly.
I mean, it was to say that their souls merged because they were shards of each other.
Something. Who knows? It's weird. It's weird. That whole thing was weird. So
I mean,
I'm not gonna think about it too hard.
They merged the same way Ardbert and the Way of Light did. I mean,
the thing is they weren't different shards of the same person, I don't think. It was just that Nymphelia kept inserting bits of herself into children.
I always took it that they were shards of the same person, and they would always be
That was never once stated.
Well, they also did say that their souls merged, and it was a matter of which personality remained dominant. And they were deciding that.
Yeah, and then I guess the other just returned to the ethereal sea after the fact. So Nymphelia let Reen do her own thing.
Again, if their souls merged, then Reen's personality remained dominant. But at point, either way,
she's here, she's dead. It's fine.
Either she returned to the ethereal sea and she's here, or she's in Reen and Reen didn't think.
Can you imagine? I can imagine, like, if you go here with Thancred, there's definitely some dialogue with that.
Oh yeah, like all of the silence have some dialogue here.
Especially like him with Nymphelia.
Oh, absolutely. Alright, time for the final boss of the dungeon. Wonder who it could be.
I wonder. Please let the tank wait for us.
Oh, it's not the trial. He's now. Alright, Hades, let's kill an Ascian. Again. For the last time.
Is Fandaniel?
Yep.
This is as far as you go. Oblivion beckons!
You know, we're really sick of your shit, Hermes.
Alright, Almond.
I'm on the Undying.
Almond, Hermes, Fandaniel. So many names, gonna kill you anyway. Frickin'.
Let's do it.
Convocation's dead. Stay there.
Well, he can't leave here
Many
anyway, so.
faces have I worn, but this is my favorite by far.
Yeah, the big first scary thing. Sorcerer of Eld. Emmet did it too.
You will persist in this folly no longer.
Man, he couldn't kill us 2,000 years ago. He couldn't kill us in Zodiac. But not now.
Ow!
Over here, left.
Now, don't get in time.
Yeah, when he starts casting left or right forte, the way to know which side is the safe side is the name of the ability, because it's his left.
Let the curtains rise for the main attraction.
Curtain Call. Same ability he used in the Crystal Tower. So this time we don't have a wall of ice to protect us from it. Unless...
Remember, that's the thing that happened.
Shiva!
Hydaelyn.
Hydaelyn is here! Diamond dust this asshole.
Get behind it.
Thanks, Bell.
Hydaelyn.
What a boorish audience you are!
One primal who always had our back.
Well, after we kicked her ass a couple times. Like, it took a while, but we got there. Back here. Or wherever those things aren't pointing.
I was not in that, screw you.
Pay attention to which ones is charging faster and stand in the slow one first. We're safe for the moment. Go. Left side.
Yeah, that's his left, it's going off.
Much better.
Hey, technically only one of us has died.
Two of us.
Oh, yeah, that one.
And I went down.
He's going on the right, so...
Right side. Left. Drove. He's bringing up the circle.
Let us do it.
Lead.
Oh, no.
After this limit break.
I'm doing it. Doing this. I get back over. Come here. Bonk. Fandaniel, I'm going to try you one last time.
And hopefully...
Die!
Lies! All lies! Your dreams, your hopes, your futures, delusions and lies!
And hopefully, that's the last Ascian we need to deal with.
I am sick of you, Fandaniel.
I'm sick of these motherfucking Ascians in this motherfucking game.
Alright, there's that.
Well, that was right, he'd turn up, just not when he'd turn up. And that leaves a trial.
Well, let's go ahead and pop the exit and see what happens next.
Thinking where we are.
Where is Mom?
Voiced cutscenes coming up, plenty of them.
Neighbor?
So edit the first dialogue box and then engage auto advance after.
Alright.
Once we're all synced up.
Oh, he's coming back. Graceful landing, homies.
Graceful.
Yeah.
Expertly done.
My very
Cannot stop the...
Bring up the auto advance screen.
begins to wane.
Bring up the auto advance screen.
Sweet,
Alright.
sweet agony.
Waiting.
See if it's
Right, I'm at the first dialogue box.
It doesn't work. God damn it.
It doesn't work. Well, auto... Well, we're all here, auto advance.
Alright.
Leave this to her.
Come to deal the coup de grace. Good. Watching you struggle against the inevitable is bad comedy. Erase me from existence, soul and all.
That's about Nethian, I think. That's his
I
emotional
want
point.
to know if he has any memory of BTO.
So yeah, top one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, Nethian.
How would you know that name?
We were there, we met.
Then it was you. In Elpis. With Emmett Suck. The final pieces fall into place. In my halcyon days, as the mortal Ammon, I was haunted by a dream. Night after night, the faceless multitude, the voiceless cries, shards of shattered memories. But slowly, the fog began to clear. This was Elpis. And I was Hermes. Recurring though it was, I paid this dream little heed. It was only when I was granted the seat and memories of Fandaniel that I knew these visions to be true. They were the memories of Hermes that he himself erased using the power of Kairos. Or so he thought. In his attempt to burn away the events of that fateful day, he succeeded only in searing them more deeply into his soul. My soul. Death failed to expunge them, no matter how many times it came. Rebirth after rebirth, from one Fandaniel to the next. I wonder, is Emet adrift somewhere in this ethereal sea? In defeat, finally remembering your time together in Elpis? How it must gall him to be entrusted with knowledge of the final days, only to be rendered powerless to act upon it. So many lifetimes dedicated to restoring his beloved Amarok in blissful ignorance. Oh, folly. But make no mistake, my life as Hermes is not the reason I invited the world's end. I have lived. I have struggled. I have dredged the very depths of despair. And in the detritus of existence, I found the truth. I served a great ruler, powerful beyond measure. The world his dominion. Yet even he and his vast empire were destined to fall, to become one with oblivion. At the end of life's journey lies only death. So I ask you, why live at all? We betray, we torment, we murder. We are wicked, spiteful creatures, without exception. If life is so sacred, so precious, why fill it with such misery? Man wallows in a hell of his own making without purpose or meaning. To live is to suffer, and I would end that suffering by my own hand. It matters not if it flies in the face of all believed right and just. Death is the only solution! That is my truth.
Make as much suffering as
my
possible.
answer to the question. And yet, even as the words pass my lips, I am filled with doubt. Has my search reached its end? Was this the only way? After all these years, is this the answer I was hoping for?
The lamentations of the damned. How it vexes me to see your conviction falter at the last. Fandaniel, still clinging to existence, I see.
Who the hell?
You, who champion death so fervently, unwilling to accept your own, refusing to be purified and swept into the sea of souls. As do I.
We prisoners to men, watching as the world turns. Though unlike me, you will be spared the ignominy of having your corpse made a puppet, dancing to another's tune.
Go on, now let's kill them.
Is that Asahi?
How very astute. But let me be clear, I have not come to consort with the likes of you. Nor have I come to bemoan the state of the world following my untimely demise. In fact, I delight in mankind's downfall and the anguish it brings the savior of the savages. If I played some small part in the chaos, all the better. Not that I was in any position to resist. But to be made accomplice to the betrayal of Lord Xenos. I would die 1,000 deaths to exact my vengeance.
I'll tell you how hard I just rolled my eyes.
Now you are at my mercy. I shall drag us both into oblivion, and you will never see the fulfillment of your magnum opus. Even should you be reborn, your desperate search for answers must start again.
What do we say? I'm partial to the bottom one, personally.
I kind of like the bottom one. Tough.
Alright.
Yeah. Just a tiny bit of comfort to a guy who's just been tortured by his own mind for way too long.
Even here. Even now. You have every right to hate me.
Oh, I do.
For the fool I was. For the monster I became. But I will not beg forgiveness. A tale of Hermes, the man who knew so much, yet understood so little, ends here.
Don't try to follow me. I had more of you people than I could stomach in life. Never mind in death.
Likewise. I pray we do not meet again.
You had better hope not.
Well said, Alfie.
Bugger off, you little shite. You two deserve each other.
Why did they bring him back again? Can we go see Mom now?
Yes.
Come. Hydaelyn is waiting.
And hopefully, let that be the last of the Asians for fucking ever.
I mean, those few that remain literally have no reason to keep trying to rejoin the world. Zodiark's dead, so they just have to find a new thing to fill their time with.
Stopping me too?
So if we finish killing all of our old friends from Asm days.
How much of the communication were we actually friends? There's a real problem.
Hey, there we go. We have the crystal.
Brave travelers, I welcome you.
Hi, Mom.
Dad, do that. Two of.
Whoa. Why does she look like that?
What do we say?
Call her by her name.
Meet again, Vana. Alright, picking it.
Yep.
see. Thou didst journey unto Elpis. And now, the rivers of time converge. I know why you have come, yet I would hear you speak your reasons all the same.
You created the moon to deliver mankind from the final days. But is that really how it has to end? We do not wish to abandon this world. We want to protect the source and all of its shards.
To flee is but one of two paths. The other leadeth to Meteion, far beyond the stars, where she doth chant creation's requiem. Her domain is formed of dynamis, pure, absolute. Where emotion and memory govern all, ether will avail you naught. Meteion hath gathered the pain and despair of countless stars, and to go unprepared is to go unto your doom.
We'll beat her. We'll win. I swear it. Is what I might have said once. After everything I've seen, all the times I've succumbed to my own anger and fear. I can no longer pretend that courage and faith will be enough. But are we truly so powerless? That our only choice is to flee?
Far from it, my child. Long ago, the inhabitants of myriad stars, many more prosperous than Atheris, sought to free their worlds from life's woes. Sorrow and anger, conflict and hostility, despair, and even death itself. But as Meteion reported, every attempt ended in failure. Darkness abideth within every living being and can never be cast out. Neither reason nor faith can challenge this immutable truth. To live is to suffer. And in suffering, find strength and purpose and hope. As you have done so many times before. Thou dost pursue an impossible dream. Yet knowing this, you pursue it nevertheless. And thou hast learned to depend on others as they do thee. Thy yearning for the power to save the powerless hath ever driven thee to greater heights. Thou hast grown strong. Though those closest to thee no longer walketh by thy side, their love remaineth thy guiding light. For duty's sake, thou hast been bound by truths unutterable time and time again. Yet thy heart hath never wavered, as thy companions will attest. In thy pursuit of mysteries great, all thou believest is brought into question. Undaunted, thy thirst for knowledge remaineth unquenched. The fires of hatred that once burned in thy heart burneth no more. From their ashes doth spring the light of love, warm and pure. As witness to black calamity, thou despaired at man's helplessness. Resolved, thou didst unite a distant world on the brink of collapse. And thou, my champion, when all did seem lost, thou never abandoned hope. For every trial and every foe that did bar thy way, thou hast proven equal to the challenge, drawing courage from the many bonds forged on thy journey. You have all known despair, and though the end approacheth, you walk on, heads held high. Therein lieth your power, the strength to silence the song of oblivion.
Then there is a means to confront her.
Yes, if you should prove yourselves worthy. Hark!
That's her sword.
Nigh impossible is it to send mortals to the edge of the universe. Should you fail, there will be no second chance. As the will of the star, I ask of you this. Do you possess the fortitude to stand firm when all around you doth crumble? Do you possess the faith to vanquish despair itself? Should you lack the strength to best a supreme deity, I cannot allow you to make the journey. You must leave this star and never return. Prepare yourselves.
I guess we're having a rematch.
Prove ourselves worthy, eh? Sounds straightforward enough.
Aye. No room for confusion there. In any case, we've come too far to back down now.
I am of the same mind. What power I have, I shall bring to bear.
The three of you seem to be forgetting who we're up against. It's not every day we battle a divine being of untold power. Well, not quite every day.
That's every expansion.
Do try not to get underfoot. Needless to say, there'll be no margin for error.
Let us hold nothing back. For the people of this world and those beyond the rift.
Alas, the question I posed to thee in Elpis hath remained unanswered these long years. I would hear thy response, warrior of light. Shouldst thou emerge victorious?
That was a question she asked. We got interrupted, wasn't it?
Yeah. Was our journey good? Has it been worthwhile?
Was it all worth it? Oh.
So we are fighting Mom.
So last time we fought her before she was Hydaelyn, she kicked our asses.
Right. So you remember when I said we can fight this with the Scions. This is the only trial in the game you can bring the Scions to.
Avela will be doing that. As with all trials post Heaven's Ward. Oh, dungeons, rather.
Yeah, so as it is, I've only gotten a single clear against the extreme version of this fight, and it took hours.
Mom is tough.
My children.
So, shall we?
So again, this is Hydaelyn at her... she's not at full power, like...
No, but when she was just for Nah, she kicked the shit out of us in Elpis.
And you can bet your ass she's been holding some power in reserve specifically for this.
So, yeah, we barely survived her attack last time.
Well, this time we got the Scions, so... Are we good?
Let's go. Rematch.
Okay, let's do it.
Sparring match against Mom.
I had a feeling we'd be fighting Hydaelyn.
But this time...
It was inevitable, really.
But this time we do
around
canonically have the Scions helping us.
Although this went a lot different than what I thought it was going to go.
How'd you think it was going to go?
That she was for sure that we weren't going to be able to beat Meteon, and she was going to use her influence over us, because we are technically tempered to her.
We're not, actually. She never actually did that by her own confession on the boat.
Thing and stuff. Remember, she said it was just a traveler's ward. It was pretty simple on their day.
Yeah.
So
we were never tempered.
So the thing that makes us special...
It was a mundane charm that it was common in their day, yes.
Well, not common, but something that anyone of sufficient power could weave.
To prevent destructions to your ether.
So,
it was a thing unique to Asms.
Of course she never tempered us. She doesn't do tempering. She's
she's good.
I mean, again, remember that time when we thought she was evil?
I think he did.
A lot of people thought she was either evil or perhaps not necessarily on our side or misguided or something. I'm glad I was proven wrong in the end about that.
In the end,
Not every
she knew
has been a dick.
the whole time what was going to happen.
Shiva, Alexander.
As it is, I've had a feeling we were going to have to fight Hydaelyn at some point. Back when I was doing 3.3.
So here's a question.
Or 3.4.
Here's a question.
Yes.
If we had, say we didn't go back to Elpis, would she have still went down the same path?
She most certainly would not have become Hydaelyn.
That's the thing.
She knew what she had to do.
Us going back in the past made her know what Hydaelyn even was.
Then she also knew about the Sundering. She knew that. I'll go into it. She knew how to imprison the Zodiac and do it because we told her that's what she did.
Yeah.
We told her that Sundering the Worlds.
Like when we last left her, she said she wasn't going to take the future for granted. Was going to do everything to stop it. But when it got to that point and they were going to sacrifice all the new souls to Zodiac, she knew what she had to do because we told her what she had to do.
Time travel.
In a way, we were her source of guidance before she was ours.
Yeah.
Asm and two Asms.
One thing
two Asms are better than one, I guess.